Okay, it says we're live, but it actually won't do that for a little bit. I have a second screen so I can see when it finally pops up for us. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
my
it'll be
husband's
interesting.
watching on the TV.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He'll be
cute.
able to tell. Yeah, I think it's interesting just to sort of see what people have picked so far. And there's like one person that's already on option like 4, I think, prompt 4. Good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it looks like we are going live now. So hello everybody. Welcome to Reading Sprints. I do reading sprints every third Tuesday anyway, but these are sort of in honor of the Choose Your Own Adventure Readathon, so we will probably be talking about that a little bit as we are here. And then I have 2 lovely people with me. If you guys want to introduce yourself, your channel, anything like that. Whoever wants to go first.
Nikki.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nikki. My channel is Nerdy Nikki. You can check me out over there.
Cool.
Lana.
I'm Lana. My channel is the India Chords, which I am actually going to revert back to Lore and Lullabies. But yeah, I'm kind of on there, but also not. I haven't done a video in a very, very long time, just due to life and health and such. But yeah, that's me. I host the India Chords every year. It's late this year because I wanted to do this readathon.
Which I appreciate.
I was like, I need to dedicate everything to this. um, so yeah, that's delayed, and I live in Australia, but I'm originally from New Zealand, and that's me.
Yay. I do actually have both of your channels linked in the description already. It should be able to be clicked on if people want to do that as well. So those are there. So yeah, the Choose Your Own Adventure Readathon. I know people have gotten started even a little bit early. I didn't. I waited until yesterday, my time, to do it. So I've gotten one book down and we'll have to pick my other book while we're doing this. Is anybody currently reading anything or wants to share maybe what they have read? And that includes people that are watching as well if you want to leave any comments for that.
Yes, please help.
I read my first book yesterday. It was Seraph at the End. It was a manga. So
Okay, a quick one.
that's why I asked if it technically counted the 2012 because it was in Japanese still.
Yeah, which I think is fine. I'm pretty lenient with a lot of the different things, and I know some people have been asking questions, which I mean, hey, somebody asked about a book that I'm just gonna say what the prompt was, but not like what they chose for it. But they asked about like a book that has to be shiny. Like, what does that mean? Like, how does it work for them? And I'm like, literally, whatever you want to say that means, you can do it. If you want it to be Firefly, where they say shiny to mean something's great, like however you want to do that. But if anybody does have questions, like I'm always free either in the Discord or whatever if you want to check. But yeah, publishing in Japanese in 2012, that fits, you know? It works.
And then I have 96 pages left of
Ooh, nice.
spoiler alert, which I'm waiting for that third act. It's gonna happen.
I mean, it's a romance books. Most of them have that third act breakup. That can make or break it. We'll see. I mean, I liked spoiler alert. I'll just say that.
So then it's most likely it'll be fine because I read The Soulmate Equation and absolutely loved it. So
That's one of my favorites. That was really good.
Yes, I've decided to like step out of my bubble, and I'm going to read a contemporary because I haven't started yet. But I was looking at my shelves and I was just like, I have like maybe 3 contemporary books.
Mm.
And I'm like, which one to do? Or do I just like pick a random recommendation?
I mean, it's always a choice. Yeah, it's sometimes hard because I know like the prompt that Nikki had to do was to read a book before 2015. I originally, when I was making that question, was going to say people had to do 2010. And then I was looking at like stuff that I owned as a 33-year-old woman. And like none of the books on my e-reader were published before 2011. So I was like, the average reader nowadays who's really into readathons and participating in this kind of stuff, what do people have on their shelves? Like, I don't know. So I moved it back a little bit to make it a little easier. And obviously not everybody got that prompt. So reading Breaking Dawn. I think you said in the Discord this is a reread for you, so hopefully, even though it is huge, it won't take too long to do. And yeah, book 4, Reading In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire. I mean, novellas are really good for this kind of readathon too.
I didn't even think of novellas.
My first book, I guess I didn't talk about my first book. I did finish it this morning. I have Last Dance by Linda Joy Singleton, because I actually also got the prompt to read a book before 2015, and this was like published in the early 2000s. And it's a series that I had read before, but like only the first 2 books, and this is book number 2. So I needed to actually reread to continue the series. I have the whole thing. And I picked it specifically because it was only 242 pages. And it's like the text is not too big, not too small, but every single chapter starts like 2/3 of the way down. So I was like, that eats up some pages too. All good.
That's perfect.
Yes. Okay, well, I guess I'll put it out there for my second book. I know a lot of people are getting into the prompts and everything like that, so I'm not going to spoil any prompts because I know what everything is. But once you finish picking your race of your character, you get the choice to go into the shop in town. This is one of the prompts you don't have to do. Like, if you want to just say, hey, I don't want to do that, I want to continue, you can. But I want to read a book for it. So I'm stuck between 2 items, partly because I know what the prompts are. So I would like some people to vote before we get to like the next reading sprint, or I guess the first reading sprint, between the spell book and the rock. I'm not going to say anything else about it. Spell book or rock. But those are the 2 that, like, if I was actually role playing this, those are the 2 that I would go for. But because I know what the prompts are, I'm now a little bit stuck on what I should actually pick. So leave a comment down below. You guys can also weigh in, but whatever one we pick, that's a book that I'm going to then have to find and read for our reading sprints today.
I say spell book, but that's just because that's the one I picked.
And the thing is, I don't think a lot of people have been picking spellbook or rock. So it's interesting to me just because those are the things that I would pick because they sound a little bit kooky compared to like the other couple items. So those are like that, like that's the stuff I would choose. Like anything that's sort of weird but like could be potentially useful, like that's what I go for.
I say go the rock.
The rock. And see, now we're having some votes for the spell book here as well. Yeah, I mean, like that was the only thing is like because I know what the prompts are, I wasn't entirely too sure what to pick for. So we'll let that do for a little bit. When is the last day for this? The last day for the readathon is going to be on the 30th. So it's a 2-week readathon. We just started on Monday. So you do have like a full 2 weeks to go. And then there is a Google form that you can fill out if you want. You don't have to when you're done with your adventure. And that actually puts you in the running for a raffle prize. Like it's there's two of them, $25 gift cards to Amazon or like something of that equivalent where I can send you a gift card so you guys can buy books. Somebody's voting for Potion. Potion was not my choice. I do appreciate it, and I really like the prompt that I have for Potion. But if I'm trying to role play this as close as possible to like what I would actually choose, just because I do know what the prompts are, and I don't want to be like cheating. Even though I know what everything is.
Question is, when this is all done, are you going to release like what the pathways were? Because I am so curious.
I leave the links up in case anybody wants to do it again or, try it for the first time. Like, I know there's been a couple people in Discord that have said that they actually want to go back and do the Star Trek one, which was from 2021. So I don't actually release everything. However, if people really had questions on certain things, like, we could talk about it. I mean, especially you guys, like, hit me up. We're good. But this one, I did format a little bit differently. The first one that was in 2021, you had basically like 3 choices. You had to make 3 prompts, and you picked one, had a little bit of story, picked one, had a little bit of story, picked the third one, and then that was your ending. And so it was a lot of like just sorting people to where they needed to go, and then here's their ending. Whereas this time, it actually branches quite a bit, and then every so often you might come back together, and then you can branch off again. And we've already had somebody die in the story. Somebody mentioned that in the Discord. They're dead now. So you can still complete the readathon if you die, but we did have somebody die. And when I saw somebody picking a certain thing, I told my husband, I'm like, we got one. We got one. They're going to die. They took the bait. So.
Oh, that's so going to be me. I'm going to die.
There's a few. I think there's technically only 2 ways per person to die. So like there's multiple different ways to do it, but based on choices, you only have that chance twice. So we'll see how it goes. How do we feel about reading sprints? Because that's sort of what we're here for, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Does anybody still need help picking a book? We're doing okay? Okay. I think I have 3. Kind of scared to die. I mean, okay, I will say that I'm not like a writer necessarily, so all the deaths are very much like off page. You're not gonna like have a bunch of blood and gore and stuff. Not exactly. You can continue your story, and like if you do die, you'll see the choice of like just continue or you can start over. And if you start over, you don't have to redo any prompts that you've already done. But if you think that you want to make a second choice and like take a different route or whatever that is, it might give you a different prompt that you haven't read a book for already. So like I know I said you can double up. And so like if you pick a new prompt, if it still fits any of the books you've already read before, you're good. Keep going. But you might have to get another one. Or you can continue your adventure, but you're dead. You'll see it if you get there. It's actually not too bad, but there and like I was saying, none of the deaths are like on page bloody gory. I'm not into that. It's really like something happens, I tell you something, and then you're dead. You've died.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
With contemporary, I haven't had my coffee yet, so it's
That's
my
okay.
brain is still kicking in. With contemporary, can I do like a horror contemporary? Because it's still like, or does it have to be a contemporary?
No, I would just say it would have to be something that's not like magical, paranormal. Like if you think it's like a majority gonna, and like go in this with like best intentions. Like if you think something is going to be not magical, fantasy, like otherworldly, if it somehow you get through the whole book and it accidentally happens and you're like, all of a sudden there was a twist, like The Sixth Sense, you know what I mean? Like, well, that's actually ghosts the whole time anyway. But if there's a twist at the end that like reveals that it wasn't actually like real world-ish, I still say count it because you went in with the best of intentions. But it's mostly just I heard my name. What? Yes, you can come in. Best
One of my
intentions.
sons asked if he could say hi, so my son says hi.
Too cute. Yeah, best of intentions. That's for everybody. Best of intentions with everything. If you think something fits but you're not sure, you can always ask, but like try. Reading Deal with the Devil for their second prompt. I'm not sure if I know what that one is.
Who's it by?
No. Yes, author if you have an author. You want to be burned alive? I can't tell if that's like I want to be burned alive or not, but I guess we'll have to see. Coffee is one of the first things I have every morning, so
It's happening.
it's just not quite there yet. That's okay. We have a full 2 weeks. Huh?
I might have to make myself some emotional support cocoa for this next bit of this book.
Hey.
Love that for you.
Oh, okay. That's why that sounds familiar, because I've been reading some of her stuff. I don't think I've read that one specifically. We like Elise Kova. Elise Kova is good. No, but what I was saying is you're good. We still have almost the whole 2 weeks, so I think we're gonna be good. Hit Roka. Never heard of it, but it got it in a blind date with a book thing. I've heard of the author, but I don't think I've ever read anything by them. So you'll have to let us know as we go. Aw, kitties. Yeah. I have 5 cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Just
got
in case
5
people
cats
wanted to
here.
know, I have 5 cats.
I have
You're
3.
good. Yeah, 3. Yeah, cats are loved here.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have reptiles.
That's so cool.
Okay, I'm gonna put it out just one more time because it looks like we have a couple more people that are like actually watching. If anybody wants to vote between Spellbook or Rock for me, this is your last chance. We're at Spellbook 3 votes, Rock 2. That's the book I'm going to read for the reading sprints today. So
Rock.
Rock, Rock. It makes me think of Galaxy Quest. Has anybody seen Galaxy Quest where Tim Allen's like fighting with his shirt off and there's like all the little aliens? Rock, rock, rock. No, that's me. Rogue futuristic librarian. That's very interesting.
Quite the description.
I mean, that's very intriguing, you know what I mean?
I would pick that up based on that.
Just based on the description, right? Yeah. Okay, spellbook. Rock. 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 Spellbook. Rock. I think
I'm losing count.
well, that's 2 more for spellbooks, so that's 5, but then it's 4 more for rock, so that's 6. We're still only like 1 difference, but I think that's fine. We're gonna start some reading sprints. If anything comes in like at the very beginning, I can always switch over. But I have like I know what the prompts are, so I have like a general idea of what I want to pick. So, what do you guys think? 20-minute, 30-minute sprint?
30?
I say 30 because I want to finish this.
Let's do it. Let's read for 30. I still don't know how to do timers on StreamYard. I was looking it up today and I was trying to find like a fantasy one. Didn't find anything. So we're going to read until 49 just to give us the benefit of the doubt on that last minute. Okay, let's do it.
Amazing.
Okay, so we have reached 49. Ignore that I tried to put 59 again in the comments because I had a brain fart on math. But we have hit that 30 minutes. Can people hear me? Yes? I'm now paranoid that nobody can hear me anymore.
Hello?
Lana, can you hear me?
Oh.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. I'm paranoid now that nobody can hear me. I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, because my headphones were being weird. Like, if they don't hear me talk for a little bit or they don't hear music for a little bit, they'll turn off. And so I'm like, wait, can people hear me? Okay, we're good. We're back. Okay. So let us know how you did in the comments if you would like. Since we did our first round, you all did pick The Rock for me. So I started Charming by Jade Linwood, which is an arc that is coming out today. I'm behind. Coming out today, and it's supposed to be like a Prince Charming is not so charming sort of story, um, where he like saves princesses and then absconds with their money. So, so far the humor is very interesting in it. They talked about like his valet has a voice that sounds like a frog drowning in yogurt, which is, an image. Um, so it's supposed to be like John Tucker Must Die meets something else. I'm trying to see if they have it on Goodreads or not, but like that's a movie that came out like when I was in high school that I loved. So, yeah, here's the cover in case anybody wants to see. This is a book that technically came out today, but I'm reading an arc of it.
I like that cover.
And I like the tagline. It says, "He'll pick your pocket while he's stealing your heart." So this is a 300 and something page book, which was a downside to it, but it's an arc, which is an upside. Whereas the book that I was going to pick, if you guys all picked Spellbook, was like 100 and something pages, but it wasn't something I needed to read necessarily. So trade offs, but so far it's interesting. I'm not like super far into it.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little quiet, but like we're good.
So during that sprint, before I started reading, I picked my next prompt.
Mhm.
And now I'm debating if I want to double up or read another book.
I mean, you can. If it fits, it fits. So I mean, this is for everybody too. Like, if you want to double or triple up, like, if it fits, go for it. Like, I'm not going to tell you that you can't read multiple books or one book for multiple prompts. But also, it's a 2-week readathon with only 5 prompts total. So do it at your pace too. Like, I'm going to try to read 5 books for 5 prompts. So it's up to you. And we also don't know what prompt you picked, so.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be something you'll have to figure out.
Well, I picked Honeybee for my contemporary read.
Who's that by? I don't know if I know that.
It's an Australian one, and already it's freaking heartbreaking.
Oh no. Unless you like that thing.
I mean, I haven't had my heart ripped out in quite a while, so I'm
maybe.
It's by Craig Silvey. It's like an Australian contemporary.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's got. I've heard it's got LGBTQIA plus rep in it, but I don't know exactly what that is yet. But it's kind of like hinted that at the start of the book, like off page pre the book starting, he got beat up and that he had makeup on his face. So I'm like, maybe he was in drag or something. Not sure. But yeah. Really, really sad already. So
They're getting you in those feels.
yeah.
That's okay. I think you said that you started a little bit late, so sprints is a good way to kick it off, get some reading in.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Good Omens. I really liked that one. The TV show I feel like is also pretty faithful. I don't know if you've watched that or not on Amazon Prime. Season 1 was really, really good. And also Good Omens came out the year I was born. So like anytime there's like those sort of like questions on like challenges, I have it on one of my shelves over here and I just get that one every single time because I'm like, I know that one came out the year I was born.
I think Matilda came out the year that I was born. That's the
Oh,
only one off the top of
fun.
my head that I'm like.
Jurassic Park also came out the year I was born, but I have not read that one. 60
I don't
pages,
know of
nice.
any books that came out when I was born.
The only reason like I actually know is because I think it's like the Do I Have That Book challenge, like the original one. I don't remember who created it, but that one has a prompt that's like, do you have a book that came out the year you were born? And like I had Good Omens, and I think looked it up afterwards just to sort of see, and Jurassic Park was also one. Hello, hello, welcome.
I have
Wait.
like 56 pages left.
Ooh, nice. You got pretty far.
I
How
hit
did
that
you
point.
You hit that? Yeah, I was just How is it going so far?
It was a good thing I muted my mic and I had my cam off because there was some explicit language.
Wait, what are you reading again?
Spoiler alert.
She's getting to that third act breakup stuff that a lot of romances have. So you just got to get through it. I mean, I haven't read this in a while, so I actually don't remember how bad it is in the like pantheon of third act breakup stuff, but I liked the book. Like I remember that.
I like the book. The breakup's infuriating.
I love how that's like that's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, my next prompt, I could read all the feels. So the next one in the series.
I did not like that one as much as Spoiler Alert. I'll say that. I know people who have the opposite reaction, liked that one much better. But if we're going by like my ratings, Spoiler Alert was like a really, really high 4.5, low 5. All the Feels was a 3.
Okay.
I haven't read the third one yet, but I do own it because like I want to read more, but I think it's the tropes in there. They're different. They feel very different.
Yeah, I can't wait to read Shipwrecked.
Yeah, I definitely have that on my shelf. I need to read that one.
Maybe I should nominate that for book club.
I mean, yeah, if anybody is in my Patreon book club, it is time for nominations. So that could be a choice. But yes, the reason I picked Charming I got it from NetGalley. So part of the reason I go on NetGalley is one, to get arcs and like read them and stuff like that. But that's actually where I get a lot of like books of like what's coming out soon for those videos that I do of like things that are coming out in the next like 3 months. And I literally just really liked the cover. And then when I saw that it was like John Tucker Must Die fantasy related sort of stuff, I was like, yeah, I need to try that out.
That's a blast from the past.
Right? No, seriously. I'm like, I grew up with that. Like that was like the epitome of like what teen movies and like the graduating in like the late 2000s.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say it came out around the year I graduated high school. Finished second book, onto the third, starting Every Heart a Doorway. I'm wondering how many Seanan McGuire books people are going to be reading, just because, like, novellas are great for this, and I love that series anyway.
I forgot that I have that. That
What?
would fit one of my Every Heart a
Something?
Doorway.
Mm.
That would fit something.
Every Heart a Doorway is a really good one.
Mm.
Wanted to read the book first, so you haven't watched it yet. No, that's completely makes sense. I read Good Omens, I think back before I had a Goodreads officially, which was like 2012, and then watched it almost as soon as it came out. But like, is season 2 out already? I don't know. I don't keep up with shows coming out very often, but like the first season follows the book pretty closely, and it was really good.
That's like with Sandman. I still haven't finished like the first season of that.
I haven't either. I'm really bad about starting stuff and enjoying it and then getting distracted by life and then finding something else and enjoying it. And like, so I get like halfway through tons of things
Yeah.
and then never finish.
I feel
Starting
ya.
with Zodiac Academy. Okay. Have to let us know how you get on with that. Oh, I wish it was raining here. I'm in Arizona right now, which means for all the people that use Fahrenheit, it was like 112 today. So like 40 something Celsius. It was miserable, but it's been teasing us all week saying that there's like a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and then it never shows up. And I'm just like,
How rude.
it would still be hot, but at least it would rain because I like that, you know, atmosphere. So I'm very jealous right now. I will say that.
40 degrees is disgusting.
Oh, it was obviously higher. I don't know the actual conversion rate. I just know that it's obviously very, very high. But so we're going to say, because it was like 112 today. Fahrenheit to Celsius, 44.4 degrees.
I've never been in heat like that in my life.
Oh, no,
I would melt.
Oh, yeah, no, we had to take Presley to an OT appointment today, and literally so hot outside. Like, I was outside for like 5 minutes, maybe even less than that, and I'm sweating because it's so hot. Like, this is what the next weather is going to look like. It actually got up to what, 115 today?
Oh my god.
So even higher than 44. Like, it's not fun. I don't like it.
How do you survive? Do you just
stay inside
all day?
You don't get out. You don't get out much.
Oh,
People talk about like seasonal depression, where it's like people that live in like really snowy places don't get out in the snow very much, and so they get like that sort of like seasonal depression. When it's Arizona, it's the opposite. Like, people start to feel really bad because it's so hot outside that you can't go outside. And so during the winter, when it's like 60, 70 degrees, we're like, yeah. Now it's miserable.
Yeah. Winter here, it got to negative 30 1 week Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius.
Yeah, I just had to look up like a conversion thing because I don't know the actual conversions. I can do estimates. Yeah.
I'll look it up.
That's crazy though. Yeah, see, I really do want to read Jurassic Park eventually. I just don't own it. It hasn't been something that's been like a super high priority, but like, it's a classic for a reason. I do want to try it.
Negative 34 Celsius.
That's what you got in the winter?
Yep.
I think the coldest I've been in is like -4.
Yeah.
And we just don't have winter here. Like, I miss having a proper winter. It's just too hot here. But not
crazy hot like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I hate, is just how hot it gets. Oh, we got somebody else finishing first book, moving on to a second one now. That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, no, I remember like in California, my ex's dad lived in Lancaster, and I remember going there and just being mad the whole time because it was so hot. I like wasn't even meaning to. I was just irritated and mad the whole time we were there.
Sounds about right. Yeah, I've actually read one Michael Crichton. I'm pretty sure it was his. Is Sphere. This was a back in the day for me, and that's like the water one where like people are underwater, which is like not my thing. Yeah, Michael Crichton, but I gave it a 4 stars. So I've read one Michael Crichton. He's very popular in the bookstores though. Yes, Every Heart a Doorway is so good. Yeah, hot and then humidity is not fun, which I think is also like why it hasn't been as fun lately here because we keep having the chance of rain. So we've been getting some of the humidity that we don't always have with it still being 115. So that is not fun. I was actually born in Florida, and so I've just like basically only lived in hot places my entire life. Yeah, it's no joke. Yeah. Oh, live in the north of Canada. This winter you had a negative 49.
Wow.
A lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't know how people do it.
It's very impressive to see people that, yeah, do weather and stuff that I'm just not used to.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna probably kick off another reading sprint soon. Again, if anybody does have any questions about prompts or anything that they're currently going through, if you want to leave a comment to have us answer it on camera, let us know. But otherwise, I think we're gonna start kicking off some more reading because I'm like 10% into this book and still like curious about where this is gonna go. So let's see. It's 6 o'clock. If everybody's okay with it, I'm thinking we'll probably do like another 30-minute one and then have a sort of wrap up at the end because by that time it'll be having to cook dinner and then bath and bed for my kids. Are we good with that? I was going to say is we good with that? That's not proper English. Are we good with that?
Yes.
I'm good with it.
Okay. Let's do that. Read until I'm gonna be so happy when these kids eventually get older and I can actually like let's do longer reading sprints and not ones that I have to do in between like my husband getting off work and bedtime. Like he's so nice. Okay,
No,
so
because
we'll
then they
go.
want to like stick their heads in and do funny faces and stuff.
Well, almost as soon as we started the last ones, both kids started crying. I was like, bye, just a second. Like I don't know what happened, but like at least they waited until sprints started.
Mm.
Okay,
And
so
mine are
yeah.
just now, they're older. Two of mine are
Mhm.
older, and so they're like, Mom, I'm ready for bed. Can you read to me? Just a
My
minute.
kids love books so much. They want all the books before bedtime. And then Elliot, who's 1 now, as soon as she wakes up in the morning, she sees the books that we read for bedtime that are like over in a pile because we don't clean them up. And she literally goes, Ba, ba, ba. Like she like read to me now. And I'm like, you are more obsessed with books than I am. You're crazy.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so cute. Awesome.
Okay. So we have reached 38. We've had some people have to go, which is fine. Thank everybody for showing up. Somebody read 42 pages, and it was 9:30. Yeah, I was in bed by like 9 o'clock last night. And then welcome, coming from the gym. So how did everybody do? How are we reading? How are we liking things? I'm currently now on 23% of my book. So I don't know how many pages I've read so far, but that's a little bit more than last time. I'm not entirely sure how I'm liking it right now because, like I said, it's like the John Tucker Must Die fantasy sort of thing. The princesses, like, so like the part that I read first was like one of his heists, like go save a princess. It was like a Rapunzel, or not Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty sort of thing. And then he leaves. And then we start again with basically Sleeping Beauty meeting Rapunzel and Snow White. They have different names, but like they give you enough hints that you know. The whole rest of everything that I've read so far is Snow White's story the way that they're doing it in here, but it's literally just that. Like we haven't gotten anything else about this prince yet, like at all. And so I'm just at the point where I'm like, you're taking too long to get to the point. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just like, hurry it up, please. How about you guys?
I finished my book.
Oh, good. What do you think?
The ending was a bit rushed, but I like how it ended.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, yeah. So if you were going to rate it, potentially, what do you think your preliminary rating might be?
4.5.
Okay. Pretty good.
Yeah. And it's one of the first romance that I have read that had so many spicy scenes.
Oh, yeah, because
And
you're just like
so,
starting your romance reading stuff now, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Like I've read Soulmate Equation and then
Which doesn't
Rosaline
have very
Palmer.
much. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
like Soulmate Equation doesn't have like too much spice in
right.
there, from what I remember. And then Rosalind Palmer, again, we talked about this in like our book club. I wouldn't consider it a romance specifically, but it does have a little bit. And then yeah,
Right.
spoiler alert, I feel like Olivia Dade is definitely an author that leans more into the like you get a romance book, but they definitely have the spicy scenes in there.
Yeah. So,
I'm interested to see where your romance path takes you, like in a year. See what you're reading in a year.
Well, and I'm also thinking it could even be like more than a year because like I feel like I've been reading romance for a while now and like I read a lot of genres, but I'm just realizing some tropes and things that I just don't like. Like I used to want to pick up like almost everything like, oh, this sounds good. Oh, this sounds good. Oh, this sounds good. And there are some exceptions to the rules, but I'm now realizing that I don't really like second chance romance or enemies to lovers. Like it has to be really, really good in the way that they do it for me to actually like it. It just has too many, like it leans into some tropes that I don't actually like. Whereas like fake dating or friends to lovers, those kind of things are like I will pick up almost anything if it has that kind of stuff in it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
one that I picked up the other day is this one, For Her Consideration.
I have not read that one. I'm not even sure I know what that one's about.
It's a sapphic.
Familiar.
It's sapphic, and one of the characters is plus size.
Okay.
So I
A
don't know. I saw the
possibility.
cover and I liked it.
Yeah, I don't recognize that cover at all though, so that's interesting. It's one to think about. What about you, Lana? How'd we do?
The last like 2 chapters were really, really long, but it was like Honeybee's backstory, so it was
Okay.
interesting. But like this is kind of like a pro choosing life kind of story.
Interesting. Okay.
So yeah, heaps of triggers. Heaps of trigger warnings on this one. Thankfully not my triggers, so I'm like still enjoying it.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, it's good. It's not something that I would usually pick up, but I remember it was like one of the free books on Audible. So I was just like, yeah, why not? Free book.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Free book. I do this. I guess it's not like exactly a subscription, but there's like the Romance Bookworms, I think is the name of like the website sort of thing, and I'm on their mailing list because every quarter they have a Stuff Your e-reader event. Like I think it used to be Stuff Your Kindle, but you can actually get it on other e-reader devices. And they literally put together a list of hundreds of books that you can get for free that are romance in some way. And like the authors do it specifically, like one day only, every quarter, hundreds of romance books. And I'm quite picky with some of this stuff because they're almost all indie as well. I got like 5 last time, and that was like the end of June. So the next one will be end of September probably. Just free ebooks. I mean, like, I can't say no for that. Yes, you can play another game.
I need to go
Okay.
through my Kindle and like just get rid of lots that I will never read. Let's be honest.
I mean, that is a problem. I do want to say I haven't looked at my Kindle stuff in a while for unhaul stuff. I actually do feel like I'm at that point where I need to do an unhaul in general. Um, and so because of that, I've had a few ebooks that I've tried to read this year that I ended up DNFing because I'm just like, that's not my stuff. Either I was misled on what it actually was, like, and that's usually my bad. Like, I just don't read into it. What, baby? Presley wants to play a game. Hopefully he's good. I don't either read into it completely or I'm just not into that anymore. I'm not holding it, dude. Why didn't you go ask Nana? Daddy's cooking. Trying to not exactly argue with a 3-year-old, but trying to get him to go do something else. We'll see. No, I'm almost done though, okay? Daddy's busy.
Nice, Stacey. Did you end up reading Zodiac Academy? I remember you saying that you were going to read that potentially.
Sorry about that. Like I said, 3-year-old. We're trying to convince him to do something else. Might not happen. Okay, but you're reading Black Paradox. You'll have to let me know what you think of that when you're finished, because I really liked that one. I think I gave it like 4 out of 5 stars. It definitely has content warning and trigger warning for suicidal sort of ideation and like things like that. So anybody else that's curious about it, know that. But Junji Ito is also a very horror manga. So rom-com, raunchy book. I don't know that author, but I'm also just not very into specific like I would prefer to be on the less like spicy side of romance than the more spicy side. So yeah, I don't know that author.
Ash's books, have you read anything by Amber Davis, if you like rom-com stuff? That is my question. But I haven't heard of Taras Vek.
I have read the first book in the Bromance Book Club, and I did enjoy that one. So I do like rom-coms. For sure.
Another series I don't recognize.
Mm.
But I think that's one thing
read.
I know, right? Sometimes I come to reading sprints and people mention things and I'm like, I have no idea what we're talking about right now. But I guess that's good. There's like so many books out there that people can find quite a bit of stuff.
Mm.
I've heard that about Fourth Wing. I actually have a different book by Rebecca Yarros, but I have not read it or anything by her yet.
Neither.
But a lot of people have been reading that one.
Yeah. I've got one of my friends gave me the book because I like highlight and annotate with my reactions and stuff. So she was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, here's like you can borrow my book," and I was like, "Oh no, I will like I want to write through it." And she's like, "No, do it because then I'll read it again and add my reactions, and then you can reread it." So I was like, "That's actually kind of fun." So we're
Some
gonna
people
do
do that as like a traveling book sort of thing, which I think is like such a fun idea. I don't annotate unless I'm like on an ebook where it's very, very easy. I just find actual like annotating takes me out of the story so much. It's like I'm in awe of people that can do it. Almost a year. That sounds about right.
Whoa,
That does sound about right.
that's insane.
Yeah, I think it was my library for In the Lives of Puppets, which is the book club book that we're supposed to be reading for my book club last month technically, but we extended it because of the fact that like I own the book and the wait at my library was still like months or weeks for like depending on what one you wanted. Like I think it was months for the audiobook, but like 13 weeks for like the ebook if you wanted to get it digitally. Like some of these new releases, they're just very popular and not all the libraries are getting them. So that makes sense for a year. It's crazy.
Super crazy.
Oh, second one on pre-order already. I mean, hey, I think I saw a cover release for that one soon, so that makes sense. Well, I'm happy for everybody that is waiting for it to come out that it's up for pre-order. Yeah, they're super popular right now. Presley's crying. Okay, a specific series here.
Chocolate lovers.
And then somebody else that needs to go. That's okay. Thank you, everybody who has shown up, because we will have to be logging off soon anyway. If anybody had anything else to say, put it down there. We'll leave this up for a little bit longer before we actually like log off, but it's going to be time for dinner and bath and bed, as we can tell. Yes, thank you for showing up. It was very fun. This is the first one I've had in a while that actually had people on it with me, because sometimes schedules are just hard to do.
Yes.
Okay, well, again, Readathon is still going until the 30th, and then you guys have a few extra days for the Google form. So everything is in the Discord and linked on the announcement video, just in case you guys need it. But I think besides that, we're going to be heading out. Oh, yes, definitely do that. Presley turns 4 on August 1st, so we're almost there. So I feel you.
Yep, Zola's 4.
Now Elliot's in here crying too. Okay.
Fun times.
Ooh, surround sound now. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go. Thank you everybody for showing up and having sprints with us. Bye.
Thank you for having me.